Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure having all of you on the
Hello,
panel.
hello.
So, can you test?
I was just checking it.
Hello.
People can hear me.
Everyone can hear? Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, amazing.
Okay, so everyone's talking again about AI and where it's taking us, and the real feeling is it's a vertical wall. So every day we come into the office and we are faced with new tools. We're faced with new information that is supposed to help us do our job better as marketeers. But there is a gap. It's a constant gap, and everyone is feeling the heat of it because the CEO hears that now I can know exactly how much my ROI was on this subject. Tell me. And it's like, so what do you feel is this gap? How are we going to bridge it? So maybe we can start with you, Mian.
Interesting question, and when I look at capability in the workforce today, what I see clearly is that the gap is interestingly more at the leadership level than it is with your juniors and the people who are coming in. And with the world changing so fast, I think that's where most of the development needs to take place. When I say that, all of these juniors are coming in with a lot of talent, and I think the first realization, the first thing that we have to as leaders learn or unlearn is we have to get comfortable with the fact that we don't have all the answers. The experience that we've had for so long doesn't count anymore. And so being able to take a step back and letting others lead is one significant change that's coming in. The second thing, naturally, is that while we do this, leaders do need to understand what's happening with AI. We do need to get hands on with many of the tools. Before, you didn't need to be hands on, but now we need to involve ourselves with our teams in doing so. And finally, I'd say that the biggest shift that's coming is when the CEO is asking for that ROI. As a marketeer, you're not limited to just your marketing space anymore. So you have to look at the entire value chain to be able to extract value that then you convert into whether it's a brand message or a product proposition. And only when you're able to do that, do you really connect with the consumer. So the lines between functions and marketing is slowly blurring. So there's a lot of new things that leaders need to adapt to, and we need to adapt to it very quickly.
You said a very interesting word. You said unlearn. What do marketeers at this stage need to unlearn to do their job better in the future in this landscape?
So, like I said, I think one of the biggest things we need to unlearn is that we have all the answers, right? We used to use our experience when we are trying to design, whether it's a campaign or we get into product development. I think we need to unlearn that we have the answers, and we need to look at, those who are working in our teams, the juniors who are coming in, and really giving them the space to speak, right? Giving them the opportunity to be able to contribute. And it cannot just be in one space, it's even across, like I said earlier, is that, it's value at different parts of the organization that we need to extract from to be able to create that proposition. So I think the biggest unlearning for me is don't necessarily count on what you know, because AI can enable such a high level of thinking, and it can come from anywhere in the organization, that you need to sort of step back and be able to absorb that, synthesize that, and then redirect it in the right direction.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Dareen, now you're in charge of this new position in the market for museums, and it is an old subject, right? So how do you have, like, when you're looking at the younger generation coming into your offices and, you know, equipping them with what they need to know for the old and the new, like, how do you guys balance that?
So it's a very interesting question. our first task was to cater for the Gen Zs for culture and heritage. And the subject of museum is very new to Saudi Arabia, although they're very rooted in their culture. But then we work a lot with academics, we work a lot with artists, collections, preservations, object lists. And these require a lot of research, a lot of reading books. And I think what we are equipping the new generation with AI is how to use AI as a collaborator for actually reading 100 books about these object lists. And then, of
There was
course,
no way of convincing them to read those books anyways.
and I think even like when it comes to now how we're working with different museums, it's actually 70 physical objects, and then the rest is immersive experience. So what we are doing right now is using the technologies of AI to understand first the audience analysis, what they want to see in museums. And this is what we're equipping the talents like to have the tools that understand these analysis. What can they do with these data? And how can we make sure that the visitor experience is seamless? There's another interesting thing about people who have like physical challenges. So basically, how to read the texts, how to actually look at the artwork. And this is another also tool that we are using, and we're equipping our employees to actually learn to make sure that we have that. The last thing is the operating, where we have the ticketing, we have the marketing tools, we have the translations. So this is another thing that we are listening.
Okay, yes. It's quite interesting. Um, Farhan, you lead different projects for different companies and you're consulting across the board, I guess. So, coming back to Mian's point a little bit about the challenges that you face about, the skill level, even at the C level versus, the entry level. How do you balance that? And what do you see? What are the gaps in different generations?
I think in the end, everybody is intelligent, but sea level is not showing vulnerability.
It's
And
not
that
showing.
vulnerability,
Okay.
that's what Mia was talking about, that, hey, I may not have all the answers. And it gets very emotionally difficult as a consultant while talking to various clients where, hey, actually the young ones know and they are saying the right thing or it will work. And I think if I will add to what Mia said previously, it's all about that psychological safety within the organization. If that is there, people will start showing vulnerability, people will start being curious, people will start learning. Because now it is not about I did it and it works. It is about how can we do it quickly. And I think over the last 3-4 sessions, that's what has been talked about, that, hey, AI is a tool, things are moving fast, how can we adapt, how can we learn and move on with it.
Yeah. During our conversation before, we always have chemistry meetings, and you used a very interesting term.
Yes.
So you used AI washing
Yes.
as a subject. Can you tell us a bit about what that means in your world and
Wow.
how to avoid AI wash? Oh,
I'll,
I did.
AI washing, yes. So AI washing, it's inspired from greenwashing. When there was a lot of green, let's go organic and all those things, or, are these plastic bags biodegradable, etc. AI washing is similar. People are talking, we are using AI, but they are actually not using AI. People are coming and selling you stuff saying it is AI. Actually, it is Chat GPT wrapped around as another name. So I'll give you two instances of AI washing. AI washing. 2 days back, somebody was there selling me something that this would work with your clients amazingly. Actually, it was ChatGPT wrapped around something. It was being AI washed. The other bit is Mia and I was talking about, and he said he read somewhere where 60% of the organization is AI ready. Actually, they knew how to use ChatGPT. So a lot of AI washing is happening. Why is it happen? Because there is information asymmetry. The same way it was greenwashing, people do not know what AI is. And how do we get over it? The easiest part, or if, like I will say it very generically, be curious. When you are curious, you will start seeing efficiencies within the system. And as you see those inefficiencies, you can come back and say, hey, this is the use case. This is the problem statement, and this is the end that I'm looking for. If the use case is there, the third thing, which is the most important part, is do you have the data? Generally, AI fails if there is no data. People go in, they say, this is the problem, let's solve it. They never go into that detail that data is there and data is clean enough to talk to each other. If the data is there, technology can help you create a proof of concept and it will work. And that is, be just curious on where their inefficiencies are and ask a few decent questions and you will know where AI washing is happening. People are saying you AI, actually it is not AI, it's just ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay. Dareen, what does great AI adoption actually look like in practice?
Actually, I can give you like we said this story before, but then my first encounter with AI, of course, before I was in the media world, where we needed to look at predictive analysis, sentinels. We needed to look at like optimization and making sure that we are having the data in real time. But of course, this didn't sacrifice the human element out of it. So we needed to make sure that we have the right insights, the right culture. That's basically in the media world. On my personal use, and I think I said this before, it's basically removing the emotions out of my emails when I'm angry. I've heard you say that, right? My previous CEO told me, use your friend ChatGPT and ask him if you're actually being over dramatic on this email or not. And I think this is how I used it in my personal life. But now the way that we are using it, like I said before, is basically to make sure that we have enough research and data. We can have multi-content and multi-languages. And I think this is the way that we bring those tools to life.
Okay, is this next generation coming into the marketing industry data? Do they understand how to read data, do you think?
Look, not necessarily. Like I think we had an earlier conversation, like with one of my colleagues. He attended a meeting where an AI person spoke to her, and he did the briefing, and she was very upset. But I think more and more we are actually getting immersed into this world, and we're getting used to this world. And I think maybe the next generation won't feel the change. They will be actually living that change. It's like us when we, okay, now you will know my age, but then when we were encountered for the internet, for example, like we didn't know the internet before, and we had to wait for hours, like just to connect on ICQ and like the chat bots. I think the next generation is ready. The only thing that they need is basically more of steering on a professional level. So we're not using it to write our presentations and to actually write like to become robots, uh, we need to study, use our head, and we need to be original, and we need to actually be authentic. Uh, and this is what I think universities should start teaching
Yeah.
that the students. How would you make use of this technology in your professional and in your daily life, like without even losing that factor of using your head and thinking? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Mian, this question is to you. You're already embedding AI capabilities into job descriptions, right? And team structures. What new roles or hybrid skills are emerging that did not exist even a few years ago?
Yeah, so I'm currently trying to build a marketing team from the ground up, both here locally and globally. And I'm actually writing some of the job descriptions myself. And it's really interesting when I look at all the various roles in marketing, and if I were to generalize, what I'm looking for is part human, so the empathy side of things, part machine, so the data side, and what I call Sherlock Holmes. The curious side, the imaginative side, the one who can extract all the information and be able to create something. So the JDs are evolving between what the person is doing and what he can enable or be enabled with. So, for example, pricing, if I take that role, I'm talking about predictive pricing. But the role itself now doesn't just talk about a price point. I need that individual to be able to extract value from across the organization and then convert that into a price point. So the skill I'm writing out is, pricing manager who has the ability to develop a customer value proposition and then value that in the form of a price. We are seeing certain roles. I'm clearly seeing a role coming around in marketing governance, as I call it. Because if you look at AI, I can honestly tell you, I've seen emails come to me where the little part at the bottom that says, should I convert this into a PDF for you? It has been emailed to me as well, right? And so what ends up happening is that a lot of this AI is coming to us, nobody's checking it, and it's a risk to the brand. Plagiarism can occur. There are so many things. So one of the JD requirements and the mandatory elements of a role is you need to know marketing governance, or that's a role on its own. Data fluency, without a doubt, is a no-brainer. So gone are the days when you say, do you know Excel and PowerPoint? That's gone. But what I'm also seeing very interestingly, and it's about structure. So what's happening with the marketing organization now is that when I write out the JD, I'm thinking, well, this individual could be enabled by 2 or 3 AI agents, right? I was talking to my team member just on the way here, and we were talking about resources and workload. And I said, well, let's take a step back. We're coming to the MMA, we're talking about AI. And I said, well, what if you had a team of 4 agents? That's your team. Now, you've got to upskill that team, which you do in real life. And you've got to continue to develop it. Yeah, they work 24 hours. That's the advantage of an AI agent. But, the structure is now changing, so it's forcing you to think very differently at how you even design your marketing organization in the longer run. So, part human, part machine, and Sherlock Holmes, you know.
Can
Actually,
I add to this?
yes.
So Mia mentioned a few times in different words systematic thinking. It is, the whole value chain, and that's what marketing is all about. It hasn't been incorporated a lot in the organizations, but I know of one entity, it's a semi-government entity. I'm under NDA, won't take name, but it's all about promoting Saudi Arabia as a tourism destination. They are not just throwing ads or doing events to they visit Saudi, but what they are focused on is, are the agents in the other country promoting Saudi, travel agents, are the travel seats enough to deliver the targets? And when the person land, do they have enough hotel rooms, etc., etc., etc. The whole value chain, and they are influencing each and every one of them. So it's not about I have a marketing plan. It's all about I have a value creation plan, and I'm influencing it. And that's what Mia has been saying in different words.
Yeah. I mean, in the previous session, Asi was talking about everyone having access now to the same tools. How do you ensure that, yes, they stay close to empathy and ensure authenticity, but also use the tools that are available to them without compromising the two other elements we're talking about when they're talking about AI? So maybe from different points of views, different companies, what are you doing to ensure that? Where do you say, no, you can't touch AI here?
I have a point of view there. Whenever it comes to emotions, don't touch AI there. And I'm just flipping it the other way. And I'll tell you why do I say that. AI can optimize data, can optimize things. It is working on the data that you have already given, the beast example, feeding the beast. However, AI does not have emotions. It can detect emotions, but it does not have emotions. And whenever it's all about storytelling and touching the hearts, I would be very skeptical currently using AI. There is a concept of AGI, which is, artificial general intelligence, like it's human-like, but that is still a concept. No work has done. So whenever it's emotional, AI should not be there. That's Farhan, but I'm just saying the opposite of what you said. Yeah.
But I think also when it comes to experiences and cultures, and we've seen that, and I've said that maybe before, like everyone has access to data. Everyone has access, like, to the demographics. So I can tell you what you like to eat, how you spend your day, where you're at in that moment. But I cannot tell you how to actually have memories, how to have the nostalgia, how to make a good experience and a bad experience. Like, I think this is where you will still need humans. At the end of the day, we are like, those experiences belong to humans and it doesn't belong to a machine or AR. So when you come to a place, maybe taste good food, have a good vacation, you would never explain that to an AI. Yeah. And I think it's the moments and the experiences.
So I think I agree with both of you. There's this creative side, let's put it that way, or the emotional side, and then you've got AI, and then you've got data. And I still feel that when you look back at so many of these great campaigns that have come to life, let's talk about Just Do It. Nike, you talk about the iPhone, how it came about. I think there's different kinds of creativity, and there's creativity where data will become important and where AI and data won't be. And I think the one I'm talking about is visionary creativity, as I call it. And that's where I think you draw the line. That's where it's come through your personal experiences, and there's no way AI will be able to replace that, and that's individual to you. So AI can never be you. It can't have the experiences you had growing up that made you the person that you were, that made you think of the iPhone that you did. But where you start to see AI data play a greater part is what I call the micro creative people, or the operational creativity, the day-to-day problem solving, where the spectrum of no data to some data and some AI support starts to come in. But even there, I would say that I'd encourage my team to first come up with your own thinking and then AI it, right? That gives it that human
Enhancement
sense
with.
first. It gives that insight, that gut, that you're looking for, and then you can use data to sort of validate it and work with it. So I think it's a balance, and it's like a little thing you move between, visionary creativity and operational, day-to-day micro creative moments.
So when it comes to human experience, that's when AI should take a parking spot and let the humans take care of it. That's what we're teaching the next generation. Okay, speaking of the next generation, do you feel when the CVs land on your desks of the next marketeers, do you feel like they're coming in ready from university level? You're laughing.
AI generated.
Yes, they are mostly AI generated. We do have that challenge, but like, okay, let's go beyond the CV and talk about the interview room. Do you feel like they are ready? They are really being taught at university the things that they're gonna need in their real life.
I think I think companies should invest more in with universities and collaborate more. Like in my previous entity, like we had a WPP university, and we had also programs for interns, which come with a co-op for 3 to 6 months, and we actually get them data literacy, we get them AI tools, and I think corporations should start investing in that.
Do you feel like there is already a shift towards that?
There is a shift because there is a need.
Yeah.
There is a business need. We are seeing a lot of data analysts, and what I found astonishing that a lot of Saudis are interested in learning this field, and we had the first female data analyst back in WPP. She was heading like the data analytics in PIF, but with PIF clients, so which is a very complex when it comes to investors and when it comes to a global reach. So we are seeing an appetite for that, and I think the market needs it. I don't see a lot of companies investing yet in it, and where they should.
Mian?
So yeah, I think I agree. I think when you look at the the need that corporations have today, and the students and the CVs that are coming in, you saw Google, for example, and this whole talk around the MBA degree is useless. You just teach everybody in house. I think there's going to be a backward integration, and universities are going to learn and have to learn and change and adapt their curriculum to be able to now not create a degree but a product, because that's what I'm looking to buy technically from the university when they come out. And that product now needs to, if I talk about just the basics of marketing, the 4 Ps of marketing are going to change significantly. They'll mean something very different. And so and if I talk about when I see a CV now, or how I want them to change it, is pricing isn't just pricing, it's about predictive analytics. Have you built that into their courses and into their teaching? I talked about marketing governance. That's a key critical part. Do brand managers now become campaign engineers, as I call them? So those are critical skills that I want to see universities sort of embed, change the 4 Ps. And I think even how they impart the knowledge is important. This goes back to your point. I think bookish education in marketing needs to slow down, and it needs to, now that you can smokescreen an entire campaign, having real live simulations that your students do to bring something from ideation to life. And if you get 1,000 likes, you get an A. So it's a very different way that I'd like to see students get out of college and come to the interview with that kind of hands-on experience so that they're ready to go.
Yeah. Farhan, you've said that the best marketers think like system designers. Seeing how marketing connects to operations, finance, and product, how can we encourage teams to build that holistic view rather than just staying, in silos and disconnected?
I think I'll just connect it to what was being said. There is no I'm a marketing major or a finance major anymore.
Yeah.
So it starts with there that I am a value creator, if I may. And they need to have that element. That's one. Even if the university churns out that marketeer, if I may, or systematic marketeer, I think the way the organizations are run, that needs to change too. Because organization currently are, hey, I will give this to a marketing guy, he will run a campaign and that's it. But it's not anymore like that. So it's not my annual plan or my annual marketing plan. It's my organization value creation plan. And then the KPIs are set where there are those interlinkages. So marketing should have those KPIs with the operations and all those. Because in the end, when the person comes in, starts working, they will run after those KPIs. And if the KPIs are very individualistic, the systematic thinking will be lost.
Okay. So if we are to wrap this up with one skill that that you would like your new marketer to have, new marketer or existing marketing, let's say, one skill must have. Without it, I cannot have them in my team. What would it be?
To be
Original. Okay.
For me, it's curiosity. Like,
Curiosity.
because you have to learn, unlearn, because it's now speed. You have to be curious.
Yeah, and to connect to Farhan's point, I go back to being Sherlock Holmes. And the reason why I say that is it's curiosity, it's imagination. If you go back to Sherlock Holmes, depends which one you watched. But it's being curious. It's being able to synthesize the information, but at the same time, being human while you do it. And so, if you can put all of that together, I would say for me, I'm looking for that ideal Sherlock Holmes, because today you need that kind of a person to be able to churn out the kind of marketing we need for the future.
Love it. Thank you very much, my dear panel.
Thank
It
you.
was wonderful having you, and thank you for all your insights.